offensive rebounding in general? Yeah, 100%. Anytime you can get an offensive rebound, you're just getting more possessions than the other team. You know what I mean? So obviously, if you're shooting poorly, if you get 10 more possessions than the other team, will help your chances out of winning the game. So it's just another aspect of the game that people trying to take advantage of and whatnot. I've been doing it for a while, so yeah.
It seems like there's such little margin for error in a series where, especially you're going against a team that has a lot of shot makers, and that's kind of what they do.
Yeah.
But you guys see how you play as compensating for that?
Compensating for what?
For lack of shooting compared to the Warriors.
Are you talking about shooting percentage? Like we don't shoot as a high clip?
Yeah, from just overall field goal percentage and 3-point percentage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's just, again, it's just the makeup of our team. You can't have any sort of perfect team. You just have your ingredients, and you just come up with a game plan that's going to put you in the best chance to win the games, and that's what you go with. You know what I mean? You try not to be something that you're not. You know what I mean? Like we know what type of team we are. A hungry team, got a young team. Yeah, just kind of like a dog mentality team. We're just going to roll with that. We ain't going to try and be something else. You know
what have you liked about the selflessness that you've seen throughout the season, and how can that help in the playoffs?
So repeat it?
Selflessness among this team. It's not going to be your night every night, kind of that sometimes you, sometimes me, always us mentality. How can that help you guys in the playoffs?
No, it's definitely going to help because again, playoffs is it's a very different game, and I know you probably hear that a lot from a bunch of players. Like it's very, very detailed stuff. I'm like, okay, this guy has an open shot, but it's like, is that what the defense wants you to give because the numbers will work in their favor type thing? Like it's very, very detailed. So distributing, but it's not even like so much like sharing necessarily. It's more the selflessness in terms of like screening your guys. You know what I mean? Like going and executing the play properly. Where it's like it might be the start of the play, and then the outcome of the play is very much determined by what you do. You know what I mean? At the start, that's where the selflessness needs to like be crisp. You know what I mean? So we get a really good shot from the person who knows to shoot the ball.
The game that Sengun had against.
Hold on, bro. What's going on here? Everyone's asking questions, huh? One at a time, right? All right, go.
Stephen, you went against the Golden State Warriors a lot of times. How do you prepare your team to get ready to prepare for a player like Draymond Green in the playoffs?
Well, I mean, this team, I mean, I know I've played against him a bunch of times, so I kind of have a pretty good feel for how he is, but again, like, he evolves his game. Basketball evolves every year, so, and also like how they officiate it and all this sort of stuff, you know, so it's not like what I can provide is like a clear answer sheet. It's not. You kind of have to just feel that stuff out, because again, it's different every year. It's different, maybe the same players, but different type of, different mentalities as well. So, yeah. Well, this team is just mainly just focusing on itself. As long as you just focus on yourself and what we got going on, mostly you'll be okay. You know what I mean? You don't really want to get caught up too much in what they're doing, because that means you're not focusing on what you need. So, I feel like we've been doing that. We'll see. We'll see tomorrow.
The game that Sengun had against them two weeks ago statistically was one of the better games he's ever had against Draymond. As a big man, what did you see from Alperen in that game that maybe he hadn't done before?
You're talking about his game 2 weeks ago?
Against the Warriors and Draymond.
He just made his shots. He was being aggressive, finding the different space. I think he had a pretty good feel for how they're rotating defensively and whatnot. And he's just figuring that stuff out. Yeah.
Does the double big perhaps give him a little bit more freedom in a way that maybe he didn't earlier in the season?
It's a different look. You know what I mean? So no matter what type of players you put out there, it's going to affect. It's going to manipulate the defense. Right. So yeah, double big, then it might manipulate the defense in a way where he's familiar with how to attack it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it may do, but then I don't know, maybe not. It's just a different look. You've got to look at these things like tools. You know what I mean? It could be for this specific moment. That's when you implement it. And you might need to change it. Stuff like this.
You played in some really rowdy home environments. OKC. What's the expectation tomorrow? The first time in 5 years.
I don't know, but if it's anything like our play-in game against Golden State, it's going to be freaking. It's going to be lit. It's going to be turned up. That was ridiculous. The atmosphere was amazing. Crowd was getting into it. I know, bro. You keep asking questions. Yeah, it should be good.
As a veteran, do you have any advice for the guys who will be making their playoff debut tomorrow?
No, none at all. Yeah. Well, it's one of these things where it's like you can't. Some lessons you need to learn them by going through them, and what you extract from them is dependent on your whole upbringing and your personality. So like, I don't see any benefit apart from just like calming them down, like tweaking out or something, then like, yeah, bro, just sit it down. But like, if it's just like, you know, for them just to be in it, learn, that's all you can, because they need to expect what they can from you. I can't come in and say like, hey, you should look at X, Y, Z, because it actually might mess them up. You know what I mean? So you just let them go through it. If they fall down, the bros are here to pick you up. Good luck.
Last one, guys.
What was the, do you remember the first postseason game, the difference in the postseason versus the regular season, and how long did you get used to it?
It took me one game to get used to it. I don't remember my first one, my first like, series and all that. The biggest standout, honestly, was just like, which helped me with my career. It's just about like the position, being successful. It's not even about like, oh, I scored this many points, I got this many rebounds, whatever, this many blocks. It doesn't matter. And, like, what really matters is just like if you execute the play and like come out with the win. You know what I'm saying? So like, shit, you don't have to think about anything selfishly. The only thing selfishly is like you need to do your particular job, even though that it's not like celebrated in the media, celebrated elsewhere. Internally, and like when we watch film and stuff like this, that's where you get like, yo, good screen on this. Hey, you did a good cut. You didn't get the shot. You get not a shot in poor position, but your cut there allowed that rotation, so then he can get an open shot. Like that's where you get your like, oh yeah, I did my job really. Whereas like you could score some points, you didn't cut. You know what I mean? Still lose the game. You didn't actually do your job. That's the type of like filter you need to approach it with. Yeah, but I learned that early on. It was good. I think it's helped me a lot.
Thank you.
Cool.